Coming up this week on the Afro Journal.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
She just brought him.
We love to see it.
Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aunties and uncles, mommies and daddies, welcome to 2022 episode 2. But aka this is what episode 48. Welcome to another episode of the Afro Journal podcast. It's your spice, your everything nice, your sugar, Chisom, Ejikeme, Jeremiah, Okafor.
All right, and it's your corporate boy, always wearing suit and tie, even though I'm not wearing a tie right now, and I'm not wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Your boy
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, wow.
Yeah, with that mustache. I mean, with that mustache.
Oh my God, stop hating on the mustache, bro. Stop hating on the
all that's
mustache.
left for you to go bald, man. And then you complete the look.
You go bald before I go bald.
We'll
your hairline is already receded, so it's okay.
I mean, the ladies can see that this hairline is on point. Like, you can see that this hairline is on point.
Let me finish my intro, fam. Why interrupting me, man? It's your extra luggage, Peter Chips Yogo.
And it's your glazed chocolate donut. No sprinkles today, just glaze.
Just glaze.
Bole and kume.
All right. And those of you on video, you already see we have a special guest here. Those of you on audio, you're probably hearing a new voice. It's sounding nice. It's sounding crisp. It's sounding like a Charlie. You already see that we have, or you can hear that we have a new guest here. But before we introduce him, we'll have our special guest from last week, Rita, introduce or interpret the proverb. Here we go.
So the proverb that I chose was "He who loves you with your dirt," and I picked this one because love is such a theme in my life right now. And I just think that everybody has dirt, everybody has something that's going on in their life, and the person who loves you, who chooses to be with you, is gonna love you for every single part of you, even the dirty parts. They'll in fact even probably find that beautiful. And if they don't find that beautiful, if they don't like your dirt, then maybe what you're experiencing is not actually love. Because if it was love, they would love every single part of who you are. And yeah.
Boom. Words from Rita right there. Lovely. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't checked out that episode, that is honestly the intro to 2022 that you need. All the red flags that you need for this year to spot. Go check out the episode now. You get educated.
Straight fact.
But
that
yes,
part.
We have our guest, Kofi Colcraft. He's a brother, friend, son, and most importantly, he's a husband. Yes, and he's here joining us. Kofi, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate you.
It's a pleasure. I love what y'all are doing. I've been tuning in since day one. And,
Period.
I'm praying that everything just keeps going double. You know what I mean?
Everything a double.
Everything a double.
You already know, Kofi. Appreciate you, man. So, do you have any names for yourself? Do you want to introduce yourself? Peter is the extra luggage. Bole is the glazed donuts. I'm the sugar and the spice and the everything nice, of course. What are you today, sir? What are you, sir?
Today, they call me Chale Primero.
Chale Primero. Honestly, I love that. I love that.
Iconic.
Where's the wife from? Where's the wife from?
Costa Rica.
Chale Primero. I love
it.
Yo, that's
or another one is Kofi Banderas. That's it.
What?
Kofi Banderas.
Kofi
Banderas. Okay, Banderas. Okay,
wow.
I got you.
Wow, which was Banderas? What was that
Antonio?
Huh?
Antonio Banderas, right?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Okay, period. It's okay. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
I'll go research after this. But you guys already know that this episode is about to be a banger. We're going to be talking about everything relationship, married. We're talking about getting married in the age of hot summers. And our brother did it. And it's we'd like to pick his brain to see, because he's a young man. You can see he's young man looking nice, looking fresh, obviously like has all the qualities of a nice husband. That's why he's already taken, you know. So
you can see it from the t-shirt he's wearing.
That
is Miami Beach, you know, going out with my wife kind of shirt.
As a,
You feel me?
you know, like at this point he's already ready for kids, you know. So
kids,
we think we pray for that. We pray for
we'll
that.
pray for that.
Hopefully they're
Oh,
twins,
man.
you know what I mean?
All right, man. But Kofi, you know, obviously we've already told them that you're married. You know, you're off the streets. You're already in the house. Done. Pretty much at this point, you're all set for life. What were your views on marriage growing up? Like, how did you view marriage?
I come from an African household.
Exactly, from an African house. What were your views on marriage?
You know, I come from an African household. You know, primarily Ghanaian parents. So my view on marriage was something that most of us African kids see.
Yeah.
No, I know divorce. Most of us know divorce. You know that.
Yeah.
You gotta stick through all the pain, stick through all the struggles, you know, and it's something that you look forward to growing up as like a young boy.
Yeah.
You see it, you're like, hey, that's what I want to be when I grow up. You see your dad, you see your mom, and you want to emulate that in your future. That's what you want. So it's something I've always wanted, and like I didn't think it was gonna happen this early, you know, this young. To be honest, but sometimes when you find, you know, that apple on the tree, you have to
pick it.
Yeah.
Kofi was like, let me have my bachelor phase. You know, African men, you know that bachelor phase. We have a specific phase called the bachelor phase. It's not like any other race. The bachelor phase is the bachelor phase.
Give us the definition. Give us the definition.
Define the
definition?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's just when you're, you know, when you have multiple girlfriend.
You have multiple apples.
Multiple apples, but you're not picking any of them.
Are they apples?
You just pluck them.
They're pears. They're pears.
You drop them on the ground. Maybe they're pears or whatever. But you just go through them as, like cycle. Hopefully you don't get witchcraft, you know, or you know, juju on you or something like that.
Black magic.
Black magic, exactly. You don't choose one that is mad. But that's the bachelor phase.
Tie your soul. That's
why Yoruba demon, you know what I mean? All those kind of, you know, nicknames that we have for Nigerian men.
Has nothing to do with black magic.
No, but no, black magic. What I'm trying to say is that the bachelor phase is basically an entity of Yoruba demon, you know, the typical Nigerian men phase. You feel me? I mean, all black girls go through Nigerian men phase, so it's quite understandable.
I'm sorry, I didn't go through that phase.
But yours is upcoming.
It's not. No, the next man I date will be my husband in Jesus' name.
Amen. That's where yours is going.
Peter, is yours still going on, or what?
Me? No. I'm ready for marriage. I've done my own bachelor phase in college.
You've done your bachelor phase.
Wow.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh man, but Kofi. I mean, I don't know if Kofi got to his bachelor phase, man. Because at this point, it's like, he's already. How old is he? Like 26. Like he's already married.
Hey, 25. Take it easy. You don't have the extra years.
You know what? My apologies. Charlie said it's 25. My bad. I mean, you're already giving me. You're giving me elder vibes, fam.
That's what my brother says.
You're giving me elder vibes.
My brother would be looking at me. He's like, well, "Aren't you like 30, bro?" And I'm like, "Yo,
damn, your brother is calling you 30, bro. He's married. Does marriage age you like that?
I don't think so, not yet. But you know,
not yet.
I'm still young.
It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, so Kofi, what do you think about the bachelor phase? Did you go through a bachelor phase? Did you like that Peter is trying to, aka a hoe phase? Did you go through a hoe?
Were
phase?
you a hoe?
Yeah, were you a hoe? You're like,
you already know me. I'm a wholesome man. You know,
A hoe. In quotes.
I always had like a target. I don't know what you want to define as the bachelor phase. You know, some people they date a lot. Some people they like, you know, take women to bed a lot and stuff like that. But me, I never did any of that. You know, I didn't date anyone. I didn't really go through that. Me, I'm an observer. I like to look.
I observe too. So we're
wait,
quite
Kofi,
similar.
real quick. When's your birthday?
June 7th.
June 7th. June 7th. Oh, you're a Cancer. You're a Cancer.
Gemini.
June. Oh, my bad. Yeah,
No,
it's okay. I fucked up.
You need to go back to astrology school, fam. You can't be getting this wrong. Come on.
It's okay.
Apparently,
okay, Gemini.
Yeah.
Okay.
Geminis,
My
they have
dad's
double,
a Gemini.
double
You're good. You're
personalities,
good.
Abby.
That's what they say.
That's what they
Yeah.
say.
That's
You
what
believe
they
in all that stuff?
Me, some of the things it makes sense. Like I look and I'm like, okay, some of the things make sense.
Yeah.
But the whole two-faced thing, me, I'm a straight guy. I like
It's
to be
straight
shooter.
Wait,
No
is
waste time.
Caro into the? By the way, Caro is his wife. Is Caro into the what's it called? Astrology and all that.
Like the thing is, we both like when we see certain characteristics that fit us, we're like, okay, that makes sense. We're not like into it, but it's very interesting to find out like certain things, like
Certain things.
like like they make.
so cute.
Her, she's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
So like
Ooh.
I look at the things and I'm like, sometimes it makes sense. You know
Makes
what I mean?
sense, yeah. Because Bole doesn't like Scorpio men.
The women are better.
The women are good, yeah. Sure. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm on the same wavelength as well. We've talked about it in the past. It's just like some things are interested, but some other things are just off. I'm like, nah, that's a lot. That's
Hey,
a lot.
what is Peter? That one I'm very interested in.
I'm the same as Peter.
Capricorn.
That's the funny thing, right? Peter and I are the same.
The way you two fight, I thought you would be like contradicting signs or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought so too. I thought that, but we're actually. I mean, it kind of makes sense that we're quite similar because
We
we're
are
both quite
similar, to be
ambitious
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
and steady. We like to keep our mental state at a certain level and not like to fluctuate too much. So it kind of makes sense in those commonalities.
Yeah, but yeah, Kofi, man, back to your whole phase or the whole phase that never existed. You were talking about how you always had a target. Was that something that you consciously did, or was it something that just kind of happened? Was it always like, okay, I'm not gonna have a whole phase. I'm just gonna do this, that. But because you mentioned earlier that you didn't actually plan to get married this young.
Yeah,
So
that's for sure.
So what was going on in the head, fam? Like what?
So with me, I was like, there's one thing about me is that, let's say, there's a lot of men who go through that phase, but they go through that phase when they're broke, and they don't have money to to entertain people like that. They're taking women on dates. Their bank account only has $50 in it. They're taking them on sushi dates and stuff like that.
Shout out to WPI, man.
Shout out Workday. Workday's making it happen.
Yeah, like to me, I always thought, I was like, how am I gonna go, take care of a woman and be like, oh, I'm gonna take you out when I don't have money. I'm not secured in that sense. Like at WPI, I was always working. When I started dating, I had to know there was money in my account because me, on top of not dating someone from here. You know what I mean? Like if someone was here, it's like I have parents to take care of them and stuff like that. Yeah. But like dating someone who's not from here, you have to be more secure, not only yourself, but like what you want for your future. So like for me, the whole phase there was never an option. On top of that, to be honest, I'm a Worcester guy. I lived in Worcester like for my whole life. My parents 10 minutes away from the school. How can I be a hoe?
I mean, trust me. There are some people who their parents lived, around the WPI that were doing some things.
AKA Peter has said that if you really put your mind to something, you'll be able to achieve it.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But to me, like my phase I went through was going to a lot of these, as I used to refer to them, cultural events.
Cultural
I know what you're talking about.
Cultural events. Cultural events at different schools.
Break it down.
Yeah, cultural events. That's the description I gave people. I was a Worcester guy. I had the car. Well, just as mom and daddy, I'm taking the car out. And WPI being the school it is, it's all fraternities and stuff like that. That for sure, I was never about that life. And I was like, I will not entertain those. What was my first frat I went to was, I went to Zig. Zig is probably the worst frat that's there. So I experienced that. I'm like, nah. From there,
not again.
That was not a cultural experience. That was just an experience.
It was just an experience. But you had to go through it to understand the difference. So like to me, I was like, when I got to college, I'm like, I'm gonna go to a lot of these cultural events, to experience what goes on. That's where I was like, hey, this place is crazy. Like these cultural events, you see the dancing, you see the things. You're like, oh, in high school I didn't see all this. I mean, in high school I was a good kid. You were
a good child, Christian boy.
I'm still a good Christian boy, man of God. You know what I mean? But like in high school, I was like quiet guy. I didn't want to like talk to anyone. Want to focus, make sure I get into school, college, and stuff like that. But coming to WPI, you see that you're like,
your eyes open small.
You open small just because you're like, we're such a minority at that school. Like, I had to get out. That's why I was like, let me go to, like, I'm telling you, my 8th term, every weekend I was somewhere.
Every weekend.
Honestly, yeah.
No one that this guy built a reputation for himself, man. They used to call this guy something, man. They used to call this man the Dagger King.
Yeah.
And for my people that are watching, if you don't know what Dagger is, honestly, I can't help you.
Get cultured.
Go look it up. Go
get cultured. But you know, especially because especially in Massachusetts, I feel like the way they like it's an art. You know, like in other places, guys just be daggering for the sake of daggering, just like ba 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 ba. But in Boston, you know, Worcester, all these places, I think the guys taking upon themselves to be, this is an art. Yeah. You see them, they line up, they are daggering in line, looking at each other, like, you know, hyping themselves up, having people hold their backs, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and it's only gone up. Like now, like you see it, and you're like, it's not even the same. It's like now people are jumping off. So I'm like, yo,
yeah.
Is at that level?
Yo,
yeah.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
Like, okay, like, so because I still follow some guys on Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
Like, that are still in the Worcester area, and so every now and then I'll be just coming across their stories, and the things I've been seeing, I'm just like, are these guys still like that? What is this? Like, you see them doing all sorts of techniques and skills, shooting gun. I'm like, bro, like what's happening here?
It's crazy.
Man, but it's different. It's different. But Kofi was known as the Dagger King. You know, so I guess you could call that like a mini Kofi face. It wasn't a whole face, but it was a Kofi face.
That was my face.
He was just learning the culture. He was just learning the culture.
Yeah. So but to be honest, like that whole phase, to me, I was like, oh, I have to go out, experience things. To me, if I saw like a woman there, I wasn't gonna do anything. Like I wasn't gonna no one's coming home with me. That's for sure. Like if I'm dancing,
energy.
I'm dancing and I'm leaving.
You high five, you move on.
Yeah, high five, move on. You know. And then the day I'm not entertaining anything.
Entertaining all that energy.
I don't have money. I'm a college kid. I'm not gonna take care of you.
I don't think you need money.
Kofi's like, you know, I cannot take care of you, fam.
I don't think you need money in WP or at any place in Worcester to get a girl.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So me and my
I need money.
Oh yeah. Bola cap. Bola, we'll move on.
Jesus, Peter, do you know me? Do you know me?
Can you imagine?
If you know, you know.
I mean,
Bola is complicated.
It's complicated.
Just like me.
I'm different. That's it. I'm
just
different.
It's complicated.
I'm complicated.
I would say she needs money, to be honest, though. I would say she needs.
I'll say that she needs money.
I mean, now, yes. But I'm talking about like back in the days. Obviously, she was cuffed the whole time.
That was my reason. It was like not a rich.
I mean, you know, I won't spill my business here. My business that isn't my business.
No, I mean, the thing
Let me
is,
not go and get.
She has a right to be like that because you know, all these women went to WPI and like strive to become engineers. They have to have a guy who steps up and you know has a certain criteria. So like. For my wife, for me, she's ambitious. If I'm not as ambitious or more ambitious, then what am I doing? She's like,
that's the way it is.
I have to match her level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's not about the money. Love and all that is not about the money. Yeah. But if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of someone else?
Of another person.
I mean?
Energy. He's already dropping gems. He said it's not about the money. It's not about the money, but if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of someone else? Hey.
Straight facts.
But don't forget the first part though. It's not about the money. So because some people be fetishizing the money part too.
Money is important.
It's important, but you know,
to a level.
There's levels to the game. Let me put it like that, right? So Kofi, okay, so you did your own little face, you did everything. When did you now be like, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready to find a girlfriend. Was that like
no? First of all, how did you even meet the babe? In fact, that we're talking about, like when you first saw her, were you like, damn, that's the girl I want to marry right there?
Or did you start thinking? Or did you start thinking about settling down before meeting her? Like which one came first?
Yeah.
Like I definitely wasn't thinking about settling down. I never brought in even a girl to my parents or anything like that. I never had a girlfriend, even in that sense of the word. Yeah. Like it was when I look back at how my relationship started, it was crazy. It was like a very natural thing. It's like I think it was sophomore year. We started talking over the summer. We were like just talking, like as friends. And I remember one I was working at the gym one day. She went to Costa Rica, and she came back, and like the hug, I was working, and I think it was really hot for that day, and so I was working in the mezzanine, in the bottom floor, and she's like, "Oh, I'm back from Costa Rica. If you want to say hi," I was like, "All right, cool." And I remember one of my Worcester guys, my cousin, he was sitting there working with me, and then the way like we hugged, he's like, "Yo, Kofi."
Looking sketchy.
So what's going on?
What was that?
It's like, it seemed like you have a little bit more affection for this woman than like
all your other friends.
All my other friends. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, bro, nothing. To myself,
you have to do the denial. You have to deny it now. You can't just admit it right there.
Yeah. But in my head, I was looking at it. I was like, yo, because I never caught feelings. I never did anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
There's plenty of women who
catch
are pretty
flights,
and
not
stuff
feelings.
Like that. Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of women who are pretty and stuff like that, but I never started like thinking like, oh, yo, is this woman meeting my criteria or like?
Yeah.
But it just happened so naturally. Like we started doing study dates and stuff like that.
Shout out to study dates.
Was it a planned study date, or was it just a study time that just became? Now you look at it in hindsight, you're like, oh, that's a study date. Or was it like, okay, let's go on a study date?
No, it was never like planned. It was just like, since we were in the same major, same classes and stuff like that,
right.
It just became natural. And then it started developing even more. Like, oh, you want to meet up here? I found it. All the boys were our founders, so and Chima included. So like, I would go there, we'd be chilling, and I'd be like, by that time too, I was a commuter at school, because I used. So most people don't know is I actually commuted for the last 3 years, but I was always on campus.
Actually, I didn't even know that. To
me neither.
Yeah.
I thought you were on campus. I didn't think you were on campus. I thought you were off campus, but like in an apartment close to the BPI.
Yeah. So like for those 3, I was always there. We'd be catching up and meeting up places. It started developing. Like, to be honest, one time we just started holding hands. I was like, yo. And like we didn't even care who was watching and stuff like that. We were just like, yo. I was like,
that's so cute.
It's very, very natural. Like I didn't push anything or anything like that. I didn't pressure anything. It's like it was a very natural start, and then
it was mutual too.
It was mutual.
That's so wholesome.
That's the best type.
Oh, so you say that in the back of your mind, you weren't like, nah, man, I'm trying to back this girl. You know, you are just like, nah, I'm just keeping it friendly, and then all of a sudden, boom.
I don't think he was keeping like friendly. He definitely had some ambition.
But you were taking it slow.
He was being consistent.
Let him speak for himself, man. Let him speak for himself. I want to hear from the horse's mouth.
In the end, it's all about consistency, and like in the end, like when you're looking at someone and you start seeing that, oh, they're checking a lot more of your boxes, like like that. I didn't even know like the boxes I wanted, like. But I thought about it one day. I was like, yo, I kind of like this girl. Like, yo, what doesn't she have that I want? And I want more in a woman. You know what I mean? Like,
damn, what doesn't she?
Normally people are saying, what do you bring to the table? Kofi is like, what do you not bring?
What do you not?
And stuff and like, no one's perfect. But at the end of the day, to me, I was talking to my brother the other day. He's like, yo, Kofi, I think I found my type finally.
Oh, what's his type? Expose him. Expose this boy.
So it was funny because she was in the car too, and we were talking. I'm like, a type. I don't know. I mean, because he asked me what was the type that I had. I'm like, to be honest, I don't think I had a type. Like, to me, it's all about what you have in your heart. Because to me, when you start putting too many boxes and too many checkpoints and for people to cross, then you're not looking for you never find your person, because
you're looking for a perfect match, which is impossible, because of no one can ever like what exactly you like, because you're your own unique human being. So how would you produce a result from your own uniqueness that could be possible in this world when you're unique?
Actually, energy. So how you're doing math.
Honestly, that was a mouthful I was about to bang, but I saved it. I saved it.
There's some math. Sorry, continue. So you're talking about the checklist and all that.
Yeah, the checklist, and then I was like, yo, if I look back on that, I didn't have any checklists and stuff like that. Like, I saw her like freshman year, and I'm like, oh, she's beautiful. She's a very, very like caring. Like, if I tell you, like, caring, determined. She
is very caring, to be honest.
Like, focused and like.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think smartness is an attractive trait?
Oh, of course.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Like, I just want him to say it, because smartness. I'm attracted to smart women.
Like, for real.
Yeah, it's like
Sapiosexual means you're attracted to mentality, like brains.
Okay, well, if that's what it means, I don't trust you.
But okay. It's GRE English, fam. GRE, right?
But like, if you look at it, like smartness is very important. You see someone who's focused, driven, and like never willing to stop at nothing in life to get to the next level. Like that's something you want, you know. And that also independence. That's very important. That's actually one thing like going into a relationship. She was too independent. Man, she would never let me do anything for her because she was like that independent. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, like that's the point where I'm like, okay, I need her to trust me to take care of her. You know what I mean?
Oh, so the independence was an issue?
No, it wasn't an issue, but it's something like a hurdle. Yeah, because like and that's what I thought. Like it was also another attractive thing because you're like, wow, someone's really independent. Like if I'm not in the picture, then she can take care of herself.
Energy.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
But you want to feel needed, just like she wants to feel needed.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So you wanted a little bit of dependency from each other to coexist.
That's the like to be able to I trust you to take care of me, and then her also telling me, I trust you to take care of me. You know, that's how you get into a marriage. It's like trusting each other to take care of each other. That's it.
Actually, has she dated anyone before you, or was it also her first? Okay.
Yeah, but that like from that relationship, she also learned a lot. You know, like and to be honest, it's like you know. At the end of the day, it's like you look past and you're like, was that even a relationship? You like
facts.
Honestly, honestly, Kofi.
It'd be like that though.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like,
same.
We all learn a lot from our first. We all, Chisom, you learned a lot from your first relationship.
Hold on. I want to make sure that we're all saying the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Kofi said, was that over the relationship, right? That's pretty much, obviously, now you're the husband. You're allowed to say that shit, fam. You know? Like, you can't say you're literally the husband. But obviously, it's like, but then Peter is like, okay, you learned a lot from your first relationship. Bole is like, was that even a relationship as well? So are you dismissing the first relationship you had right now on the Afro Journal podcast?
I say it all the time. I don't have any eggs. I don't have any eggs. Respectfully.
So what was it?
I'm a virgin, so it's
Peter, you're a virgin.
Wow. Peter, what?
Well, you know I'm a virgin now. Why are you guys acting so?
And you know I don't have any eggs.
Yes.
Okay.
We all knew this already.
We know.
Wow, you know what? I'm just meeting my co-host for the first time today. And I'm really
2022.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys. But yeah, I did learn a lot from my first relationship. Like obviously, she qualifies as an ex. You know, I'm not going to dismiss her. You know, like honestly, like she was dope. Like I can't disrespect her like that. Like she was actually dope. You know, but I learned a lot for sure. And I mean, you grow. You know.
Definitely.
Sorry, keep saying what you were saying, sir. You're talking about the non-relationship.
Yeah. So like, it's like at the end of the day, it's not like it wasn't. But you really once you like that's where I say I'm an observer. I didn't like. I wanted to see what's around. I could have easily gone into 1-2. But like I don't think I was ever ready, you know. And when I saw that I was ready, I was like, okay, I have to commit because I'm like.
I feel that me and Kofi are kind of similar. So you know how like in war, there's like the observer and there's the sniper.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Kofi is the observer. I'm the sniper. Yeah. You feel me? Like we are both observe, you know, right? Yeah. But sometimes I do my shots. I shoot. You feel me? Kofi is just looking.
Miss.
I miss. I mean, I miss, but my hit rate is very high.
It's very high. What's the percentage? What's the percentage, sir?
I'm not discussing that. Secret information. Right
Secret. You know, you got. So Kofi was the observer, right? And then you kind of looked around. You know, she learned a lot. So what were the things, right, that you kind of observed? Because you say you didn't really have a list per se, but you had a talk with yourself, and you were just like, okay, you know what, these are. She's actually checking my boxes, right? What were those things? You kind of alluded to it a little bit when you were talking about independence, smarts, all that, right? Yep. But what are the things that you saw that made her like, okay, you know what? I think I'm actually ready to be a boyfriend to this girl.
And introduce her to like my parents, take this seriously, take this to the next level. Actually, all those kind of details.
The point that you guys started dating, were you ready to introduce her to your parents at that point? Or did it take a while to get to that point?
it didn't take a long time, but coming from an African household and stuff like that.
That's what I was asking.
you really don't know how to approach the situation. Like you're like, you look at it, you're like, hey, like me, like not bringing anyone home before or anything like that. I'm like, how do I even approach it? I was like, being on top of that, I'm also in an interracial relationship. It's not even just.
We're gonna get to that, fam.
That's even like a whole nother like segment of the whole discussion. But I was like, to me, in the beginning, I was ready, but I was like, how do I do it? Especially being the first one in my squad or crew or whatever it was to do it. If maybe my brother or like someone else had done it before, I'm like, oh, okay, someone has done it. But when you're the first one, you're like, hey,
the pioneer, fam.
Pioneer.
The pioneer. So how did you get to the point where you were like, okay, you know what, this girl is actually worthy to introduce her to my parents? Because to me, that's a big deal. I might be talking to, like, I literally was talking to my dad the other day. This was probably like 2018 or so. So I said the other day, but 2018, right? And what he was telling me was that because we were arguing about like the whole dating and how we do it nowadays, he didn't really believe in dating, but that honestly, that's a whole different conversation, right? Just because his interpretation of dating is not the way we interpret it in this day and age. So I finally convinced him about the whole relationship thing, right? He was like, okay, you know what, it's fine. I see some value in that, right? Cool. But what he told me was that, like, I don't want to meet any girl that's not going to be your wife. That's literally what he told me. It's like, I don't want to be any girl that's not going to be your wife. So obviously that's a big deal, because for him, he doesn't want to now get to know someone and then boom,
get emotionally attached.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And then boom, that one is going, and then like he rinse and repeat again. So to me, before I introduce any girl to my parents, I have to know that, okay, like, this girl is probably going to be my wife, like, at that point. So I don't know if it's the same for you, and if not, then how did that thought process go for you?
Yeah, so I mean, when I looked at her, I was like, okay, the couple of criteria that were very important to me was like, oh, hey, like, one thing is that she's very big on is she talks to her parents every day. Like,
that's facts. Carol be talking to her parents.
This is husband checks right here. Look at it. It's really so special. Talk to her parents.
Write it down, guys. Write it down. Good relationship with the parents.
To me, I see some people, they're like, yo, I haven't talked to my parents in a month. Specifically, the people of the other races, the other colors. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't talked to my parents in 2 months. I'm like, I hate talking to that person. I'm like, as your mom and dad, how are you gonna be saying stuff like that? Like, and to me, she, literally every day, she dedicate an hour or plus to her parents. And that's like something I saw, and I'm like, wow, like, like someone who respects their parents. That's big for me.
Family oriented.
Family oriented, you know what I mean? And it's like, what else? Just her kindness. And kindness, she's always driven and also
always smiling.
Smiling, and especially laughing.
Actually, though.
Yeah.
Anytime I see, because I worked with Caro in the Oasis house, there was like a multicultural affairs building, for those that don't know, right? But Caro she was always, obviously, the boyfriend, so you know that she's not always happy, right? But to me, from my edge, this girl was always happy. Just like always laughing, always hitting you, like teasing
she's bubbly.
You, making
you know what I mean?
Very bubbly.
Like her energy is so
infectious.
Positive. Infectious. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, and then that laughter, man. When I tell you about when I heard it for the first time, I think we're at some Latino event. My roommate was Latino, so we went. He invited me to one of those events, and I was like, okay. I heard her laugh, and I'm like, whoa, who is that? But I didn't. To be honest, freshman year, if I tell you, like, no cap, I was like, yo, this girl, I think she's like a senior or something, because she was just hanging with seniors, the Latino seniors. So I was like, yo, me, I'm not gonna try and fail.
You're not gonna try that,
try and fail, you know what I mean? But that was like my first encounter with her, and I was like, but that laughter, like, when I started to hear more, like, it touched my heart some way. I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that I always tell her. Like, if I wake up to that every morning now, so it's like. That's something that I give
love one ting.
Oh man, he said it touched my heart in a certain way I can't explain.
Yeah.
And you wake up to that. Honestly, that's the goal, man. Gold.
I love that.
That's a vibe.
Gold.
That's a vibe.
Gold, right? And but I relate to that though. Like, there's something about, like, you know how women complain about when men say smile.
Yeah.
And women hate that shit. Obviously, I understand why they hate it. I know when some random guy is coming to tell you to smile. I understand. But at the same time, there's something about seeing a woman happy. I can't explain it. Obviously, I don't have feelings for all the women in the world, but it just kind of makes me I guess, in a good mood too.
It's your ape brain. It's your ape brain.
Maybe I don't know what it is. But then if you now turn it to someone that you actually now care about, and you see this person laughing at, bro, like
butterflies.
No matter how bad your mood is, like automatically you're just like, bro, like I'm at peace, man. I like this. I'm happy.
And one thing you always say usually is like, God damn, this girl is beautiful, man. In your head,
right?
In your head,
right?
Right
when you see that smile, it's like,
yeah, man, like God damn.
Man, energy. I like that. Okay. So you looked at her relationship with her parents, her work ethic, her kindness, her laughter.
Yep.
Got you as well. Was there anything else?
To me, it was just like her. She never like looked to follow any crowd or anything like that. That's something that was also very important to me because
I don't know how to click like that is 100% shit I love right there. She doesn't follow any crowd. She doesn't feel social pressure, basically. Peer pressure. Oh my gosh, that thing is such a turn off for me.
Turn what?
Turn off.
Oh, okay.
Turn off.
I thought you meant turn on, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Turn on, not turn on. Turn off. Like off the light. You feel me? Nepa hasn't come. You feel me? That kind of like completely shut down. That emotion of when you see Nepa turn. When Nepa takes light, that's the emotion I feel when girls follow the crowds. I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much. Because I personally don't do it. You guys know I have my interests. I do what I mean.
Look at your fucking mustache, fam. Exactly. You definitely do your own thing.
Oh my god!
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. But that's a big thing to me. So that's a huge plus, man. Because of I feel that social. If you're willing to appease the society or your peers. It just comes out negatively. Like if your friends are telling you to do the wrong thing, you go ahead and do it.
You don't really know yourself. You don't really have your own, I guess, values or your own.
Yeah, your indecisive.
Your own identity.
It's just a lot of things that come with that kind of person.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else that you wanna touch on, or?
To me, I was like, she doesn't do any like drugs or anything like that. Like, no.
Okay, the basics.
The basics,
That's important.
Important. Yeah. You're just looking like, okay, hey, mommy and daddy, I can introduce. The only thing is the what became it's just the whole idea that it's interracial. It's different. Yeah. So that was the biggest hump is.
That was the biggest hump.
You found someone perfect.
Let's actually get into that. Let's get into that. But guys, I hope you are listening. Because I know we talked about red flags last week. These were low-key green flags right here. Kofi just listed out some green flags for you guys to take away. So hopefully you can take that and run with it, But Kofi, let's talk about the interracial side of it. What was your mentality? Like, was that something that kind of like held you back? Like, okay, I'm actually about to get into an interracial relationship. What was going through your mind with that? What were your thought process?
To be honest, if I look, I wasn't thinking. Like, I didn't think about the repercussions of like, or even like getting into interracial relationship because I was like so focused on this woman and this this like future wife of mine that I was like like it didn't matter. I didn't think about that until I was in it. I was like how am I gonna introduce to my parents but to the whole Ghanaian community? And I'm like it's like it's crazy because it's like there's not many of us who get into interracial relationships, low-key moms, Ghanaian moms and stuff like that. I think one time I was talking with my auntie, I was like, why is it that you're like they're so particular about marrying like a Ghanaian woman? It's like because and she told me their biggest fear was you losing your culture. That's their biggest thing. Is that you lose your culture and stuff like that. Yeah. But to me, I never had that fear, with losing my culture because she has her own culture. So it was never a problem, But it was still a fear. And how did I for my what did I do to bring her to? I brought her to church. That was the
that was the way in, man.
In my head, I thought that was the best idea. I mean, in my head, I thought that was the best. Oh, let me bring her to church. Even the day of that, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bring you to church. I'm gonna introduce you to my mom and dad, my uncle. We're gonna be good. Whoa. Well, I was driving to the church. I'm like, actually.
Now that I think about
it, you'll be a friend.
I'm crying.
You're my friend.
But
that's crazy.
So I changed the plan up on her, and it was a very I don't know, something just hit me, and I was like scared. I was like, that's when it hit me that I'm like, damn. It's like
wrist can shake someone.
Not only is it a girlfriend,
Yeah.
But it's also someone like of a different race, you know.
Yeah.
To me, I don't have a problem with that.
Two stones.
Yeah. Like it's, and then on top of that, like it's like wow, like
in front of your whole Ghanaian community.
That's big. Like, that's very big.
Yeah,
like all eyes, you know, all eyes are going to be on you when you do that kind of thing.
It'll be like, who's that girl that Kofi just walked into the church? Right? You know how Ghanaian people talk.
The aunties start talking.
Where's the pasta?
That feeling of when everyone is just looking at you, and you know the reason, and you know they are gossiping about you. So like, hey, that's the worst. So Africans, man, is the worst feeling.
You just like, they'll stare at you and they'll be like, hey, Kofi, wow. You know, being in the same church for this amount of time, all the people in the congregation, they've seen me grow. They see me like develop. And they probably didn't see me as much as I was in college because, you know, I was busy. But I just pull up one Sunday with someone. I'm like at that moment, that was the ideas that are going into my head.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if I tell you right now, I went into the church and I was just like sitting there. We were there with her. My parents, I used to sit on the top of the church and look down because I used to do I used to control the projector and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
you
like
multimedia.
Multimedia. So I just sat up there. I'm like, okay, less attention up there. I was like there and I'm praying and stuff like that. I'm like, like what am I? Who am I fooling? What am I gonna avoid?
Yeah.
That's the moment I switched the plan up on her. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna tell them that you're my girlfriend.
Ooh.
Like I had already been prepping them with the idea. You know, I was telling my little brother, I was like, yo, go and tell mommy that.
So it was in church you exposed the whole thing.
It's in church that I finally said, okay, I've been telling them, but you know, I was just joking like around. I was like,
yeah, I don't.
You know what's funny? I did the exact same shit.
We all did the exact same
shit. You know, one time like this, like, I was joking with my mom. I have a girlfriend, so I got a text, right? I was beside my mom, and then she was like, oh, like, who's that? And I was like, oh, it's my girlfriend. She was like, let me see. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not sure you. I'm not sure you. But the funny thing is, at this point, I was still single, right? But I knew I was looking like, I'll probably be in the relationship very soon, you know? You know, so I was showing her, like, let me see. I was like, no, I'm not showing you. She got so pissed, you know? But the funny thing is, right? It was actually my sister sending me a picture of my mom.
Yeah.
Right. So when I showed her the phone, it was my mom, right? And she was like, she was not coming down. But that was just my way of like kind of like planting the idea. And then, okay, like
you do small
your boy might be off soon.
Yeah. So I remember I told my brother's like, oh, mommy, Kofi has a girlfriend. You know, her name is Sabrina. He made up some name. So like,
you know that name? That
name
name right there that you just named Sabrina, that's the name of my ex.
Trigger.
You know, confused in the spirits. You see things.
That's wild. Of all names,
quite wild.
Yeah, I was like, so you go to the kitchen, you tell my mom, yeah, Kofi has a girlfriend, and she'd be like, Kofi, she just laugh. Like, but those are small seats, but they thought I was just capping until the day that it came. Even that day, I was like, they didn't see me really until they like at the end of church service. I come down and I'm like, "Yo, mom, this is my girlfriend I've been talking about." Yeah. So this is, and then my uncle. I remember him saying actually I told my uncle first because he's you know he's very chill, he's very progressive, and he's
cool guy.
He's a cool guy. So I was like, "Your uncle, this is my girlfriend. You know, this is the in-law to be." Even at that point, you know,
you said the in-law to be straight up.
I don't play those. I didn't like
all in or nothing.
That is the way you do it. Like me personally, when I'm going to introduce my girlfriend, it's like that's my wife to be. Like there's no playing around here anymore. You know what I mean?
Energy.
So I was like, and then I think I grabbed my mom. My uncle grabbed my mom. He's like, oh, sister, you see your in-law? And then my mom was just like, she was like. You could tell that she was just like, what, really? Like, she's like, you? And I'm like, so the way she said
her
it,
eyes were like this.
She's like, because on top of that, I was like, church, you know, end of church, already everyone's looking. My mom doesn't like attention and stuff like that. You saw from the wedding, my mom, she's very my dad is different. My mom, she's like more like, you know, like, so, and then I told my dad, think at that moment, I don't know if he meant it, but he like walked out of the church, and I was like, oh shoot, because I was gonna bring her home. That was the plan, to bring her home and be like, oh, okay, introduce her respectfully. But that day I actually brought my whole crew. I brought mad people to come and support me on that. I brought my boys, some of the guys you saw at the wedding. Yeah. And then I think who else? At that time, I'm Darvin. You know, I brought him too. Yeah. I was like, yo, I bet. Because if I go there and, you know, if anything happens, I have a crew. I
have a crew at church.
I have a crew, you know, I can get my protection, you know, the boys.
So I was like, in my head, I thought that was a great idea. But from my dad's reaction, I was like, yo, it was like, that was probably the worst way I could have done it. Because too many people. On top of that, it's like in the Ghanaian community, if you're bringing it's the same in all African communities. If you're bringing someone to your home, there should be like food, drinks, and stuff like that.
That's true.
Especially if it's a new person.
Yes.
Yeah.
On top of that, you know, the living room wasn't vacuumed. Everything wasn't prepared for this new person. Like talking to them later on, I was like, yo, mom, that reaction, like, what was that about?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, you brought someone into our home. And you didn't like inform us, prepare us. You know, like in the end of the day, it almost felt like I was trying to hide something or something like that. But in my head, you know, I was like, yo, I was scared until I did it. But it was definitely tough. It was definitely tough. And moms are a lot harder than dads are.
Honestly, that's so true, man. Like if you convince the mom, the dad will probably be fine eventually.
I feel like if you convince the mom, you know, you can like keep it like. It's like an open secret, you know. It's like an acceptable secret at that point.
Yeah. Especially if it's the son that's doing the convincing. I feel like with the daughters, dads might be a little bit more protective, you know. But if it's with the sons, it's like if you get the mom in line, the dad's be like, cool.
To me, my dad's thing is just like, yo, if I can't pick your wife for you, so like. If anything happens, you know, you're gonna live up with it, and you make sure you've done your studying of her, and you two understand each other, where you both come from and stuff like that. But moms, they see, especially when they see it, they're like, yo, would this person be able to take care of my son? But to my counter argument always is like, yo, if I should be able to take care of myself first. If I can take care of myself, then like that, it will never be a problem because I can always take care of myself. In the end of the day, she's only supplementing what I can already do, and I'm the same way I'm doing it for her, you know. And that was like a big thing in the first like 2 years, like just making sure that everyone was on the tune. You know, I bring her to plenty barbecues at home. My parents' crib is right there, and you know, all these aunties and stuff. There's a lot of my aunties and uncles are cool, but then there's some of them, they're just like, you know,
they have to talk. They have to talk behind. They have to be aunties. If they don't do that, they're really aunties.
Honestly, that's low-key one thing I feel that African parents need to understand, that that they don't have a space for their kids to express themselves openly. That's something that's really difficult. I think me and my older sister, we kind of paved that path for our younger siblings to be more expressive about their opinions. Because I mean, first of all, I'm a very stubborn person. I open my mouth a lot. I test the boundaries all the time. You guys know me now.
Of course.
Open my mouth. So obviously my parents had to deal with that, and you know, we had to create this space for us to have a discussion. Obviously there's still limits. I still have an African dad. But there's an open dialogue for me to ask questions and discuss with them. You know, and challenge their views. You know, at 15, when I was like in my teenage years, there was no way in hell I was going to ask my mom, or what do you think about Christ? You know, I mean, or anything like that. There was no way in hell. It's like, why you doubting? Why is your faith, you know, exactly.
Why is your faith wavering, man?
Exactly. All those kind of things. There was no culture of like openness in that kind of space. And I feel a lot of African parents suffer from that. Like I know, like right now, I can personally, I don't think that I know the way to ask my parents if I'm introducing a girl. Actually, I mean, I don't exactly know, but I know there's a way to be more respectable. I have an idea, exactly. But you were just like completely like, wow, church. You know, you thought that like, you know, church is a wholesome place. At least she's willing to come to church. You know,
and the fact that God is now involved.
Exactly. Like, it was meant to be. Exactly. So like, but your parents took it a whole different direction. So like that open dialogue is very important for
African parents. Thoughts are valid.
To learn.
And that's something that I've learned, that I've actually grown, and I thank her for always, is that like I've had through this relationship, I've had way more open dialogues. Like, to me and my dad, and we can sit down, like, a man to man, we'll have a conversation.
Jump it up.
If someone gets, like, a little bit upset or something like that, no, he's not going to come and, of course, I'm too old for him to be threatening me or anything like that. Yeah. But, like, but we can sit down, we'll talk, and we'll see, like, eye to eye. And he'll try and understand me. It's the same thing for my little brother, like, and my older sister. They're the same thing.
Yep. Wow.
Nah, but you need to put your little brother in check, though. You be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? I'm your daddy now.
Yeah.
I'm your daddy now.
Yeah, I'm the captain now. You know what I mean?
This is all jokes. Shout out to, because we are both the older brothers, so we kind of play around with that. Yeah.
Oh man, I like that, man. So okay, so with that, right? Was it the same energy when you were meeting her own parents?
Yeah.
Or how did that actually happen? Because I guess you gave it from the African parent point of view, right? So let's talk about the Latino parent point of view.
Yeah.
You know, like, was it the same energy?
It was a lot different in the sense that, to me, I was just like playing around, telling my mom, oh, I have a girlfriend, and not like actually introducing her to them.
Yeah,
I knew her parents like for a long time, since even before we started dating, we talked. When she's on the phone, I would just interject. I'd be like, oh, like as a friend. When we were just friends, we were just like, I'd just be talking with them, so they knew my name. They knew who her friend group was. They knew that. So like, to me,
also they were that involved in her life that they knew all that detail.
Yeah, that's because they would be talking every day, like you know, at Oasis and all these. I would pass by and be like, oh, not to do anything, but just to like, if we're actually freshman year, we're just actually studying and chilling and stuff like that. Or like as a friend group, we would all come and say hi or like pass by here and there. But she'd already introduced her friend group to them. So like when we were getting closer, like it made sense to them. Like it wasn't like, oh,
it was a surprise.
This random guy or something. Yeah. It was like, oh, there's this guy who's actually taking care of me, like, you know.
I'll show you by putting in your best face. You're like, oh, good morning, good afternoon, sir. I'll
be like, buenos dias, mami, papi.
My girl, let's Spanish.
Yo, shout out to Boss, man.
I was even watching episode with Boss, episode 13. Boss, man, but he was using the Spanish for a completely different thing.
Different reason.
Different agenda. You know, Kobe was out here like, I'm trying to use Spanish to find a wife. Boss was like, I'm trying to use Spanish to get laid.
Yeah, but your different approaches.
This nigga actually saw this nigga approaching a Latino girl. This guy went to watch a YouTube video to learn a few Spanish words, and then he went on to the.
Yo, why are you exposing, bro?
Yo, when you said that, I just remembered this. I was like, what? This guy was interpreting Spanish to me. I was like, where did you learn Spanish from?
Alright, listen. Your eyes look so beautiful. It's like two ojos, muy lindos, right?
This nigga went to go learn Spanish.
Swag.
It was like, I think it was the second year. We're going to IQP and stuff like that. So she was going to go to Thailand, and I was going to go to Ecuador. So that was the first Christmas I spent with them. But the thing about Thailand is she had to leave a week early. So I was like, yo. So I had to stay in Costa Rica an extra week with her parents. Just me and them alone.
Wow. Oh shit.
So on top of that, I had to speak Spanish the whole time. But that's what, like, I was like, I'll be sitting there with her mom, just having conversations. She'd be telling me, yo, you know this guy who used to like her, this and that, but I didn't like any of them. Me, I like you. So like we'd be sitting there having all these conversations and stuff like that, and I really got to know them, and like that's where I had an advantage that maybe she didn't. It's because that open dialogue was
there from the start.
It was there from the start. It was easy.
They already knew you as like Kofi, not this random black man.
No Kofi, not John or anything like that. Kofi,
So who is this Tyrone coming into my doorsteps?
But me, I'm already calculating. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to be in an interracial relationship, to be honest. But I think I'm calculating different point of views of how to introduce my future girl to my parents.
To your parents.
You know, like I'm looking thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of good tips, man. That's a lot of good tips.
Yeah.
So you guys ended up getting married. You did your thing. It was lovely. You were there in August. That was a beautiful ceremony. You did your thing, right?
Thank you.
At what point, right, was there a difference between like Caroline the girlfriend, like your wife, right? The girlfriend, and Caroline the wife.
To me, like when people ask me, how's married life? I'm like, I don't think it should be different. Caroline the girlfriend or Carol the wife, they should be the same. Because at the end of the day, it should only. If you're seeing someone who you want to marry, they shouldn't have to reach the standard when they get the ring on them. Even before the ring, they should be like, they should see them be like, I
this
can
is
call
who
you
I
my
want.
wife.
You
know, like in the end of the day, now there's a title to it, but she's been the same, and like it only gets better. We only get better and more compatible as the days come, even more compatible.
Okay. So all these ladies that don't know cook for their boyfriends.
Yo, chill.
Hey, yo, I'm telling you,
they're like, I'll cook for you.
That was a direct shot. That was a direct shot at so many women out there, man. Jesus Christ.
You know, we're the hot summer generation. So.
That's the thing is that, like, I always tell them too, is that, like, us men too, we have to learn how to cook. You know, that's a big problem.
I mean, I'm the best chef on this. You know, on this.
Stop the cap.
Let's straight up. Actually, don't
stop the cap.
Best chef.
Like, let's relax.
Peter, you be going days without eating. Stop.
But like, we both know that's not true.
Or you be buying takeout, fam. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, who buys the most takeout here? Chiso?
I mean, me? No.
Yes, you.
Nah, Peter, I think it's you.
In the last 2 months, I've been good.
Okay, I mean, that's too much. I've only ordered twice. And it was India. Shout out to my Indian people.
Chicken
Your food is fire.
Yo, with that garlic naan, it's crazy.
Oh, he knows, man.
You know the what was it called? The
tikka masala.
Tikka masala.
Ooh, tikka masala is good.
Which one do you want?
What was it?
I got
lamb,
chicken curry.
Do you guys like the biryanis?
Yo, the biryani's fire.
Ooh,
with chicken biryani.
Impeccable. Oh, anyways, we digress. We digress. But that's important though, right? Because some people be like, yo, I'm saving my husband moves for when I actually get married. I'm saving my wifey moves for when I actually get married. But at the end of the day, you need to see all these things before. Now, I'm not saying you should do more, right? Because there's also the saying that, don't act like the wife when you're still the girlfriend. To me, there's some truth to it, but to me, at the same time, it shouldn't really be that much different, to be honest. You know, like, especially if you're serious about this. Now, if you guys are just in like, you know, when you guys are playing games with each other, you're just there for you're there for a good time, not a long time. Then I guess that's fair, you know. But if you're already there thinking about the future, to me, it really shouldn't be that different mentally, because you've already been seeing yourself in that position already.
Yeah. In that sense, too, I think that she was like always even better than me at that. I had a lot more growing to do than she did at some point. I was like, because to me, I was like, I had to grow, I had to learn how to do certain things. Like
what? Give us examples, man.
Like,
let's go to those examples.
Let's say for food. You know, I'm telling you, like, if I'd gone maybe to a different school, I would be in a different situation. But my house was 10 minutes away. All I had to do was drive home.
That's true.
Hey, mommy, it's jollof rice and something's there.
That trash ass Ghanaian jollof rice.
It was actually funny. I was talking with my friends. He's like, he's actually, Chisholm will find it funny. He's like, because she was feeling some stomach pain. And she's like, that guy Chima gave you Nigerian jollof, yesterday.
What? Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Not Chima, man. I'm dead. You know, we love the hate. We love the hate.
You know, you people be calling us birds on online and all that. I've seen that the wars. It's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, the memes, the African memes are so funny, man.
The war between Nigeria and Ghana.
Yeah,
I love it. Like, it's how we show love to each other.
Yeah, it literally is.
That's our love language. Fight. But you're talking about the growth that you had to face, going home, getting food, you know. So
yeah. So I was like, I go home, get some food. I didn't cook. I didn't do none of that, because I'm like, I was like a very good son. I do all my cleaning and, you know, stuff like that. But cooking, mommy was home. Why did I have to do any work and stuff like that? But I had to learn to separate myself from the home life, because I wasn't trying to be home forever.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I want to be on my own, learn to be on my own.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to cook something. I'm still trying to like work on certain African dishes, of course.
Yeah.
But like, in the end of the day, I need to learn how to cook, because if I can't cook for myself, like I said, it's a problem. So like, I had to grow in that sense, and then even being independent, like I couldn't just freshman year. I think that was my thing. I wanted to be as independent as possible.
Yeah.
Even if I was broke out of my mind with $10 on my account, I'm like, my dad, he'd be like, "Oh, Kofi," he'll call me and say, "Oh, Kofi, you good?" Like, "Yeah, daddy, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. $10 in my account, but I'll just go pick up my stuff, go pick up shit at the gym, and go work." And because I had to set that standard for myself to be independent, so that like I'm like, college is the crucial developmental years.
That's facts.
In that sense, she was already there. She's the only one in this country for herself. Like, just like a lot of you, like a lot
of us,
So like, she had to do all of that without any type of no cousins, no friends. She didn't know anyone coming here. That was herself. So she's already years ahead of me. I had to set myself to do that. Rather than her, she was already there.
She was already there.
Yeah. So
that makes sense. It's kind of like what you said before, right? Like, when the interaction between men and women, a lot of the time is you have to either match the energy or be above the energy, right? Like, if you're less, then the woman is going to be like, this guy is like, he's not up to my standards, this and that. But if you're more, then they'll be like, hey, that's where they want to be, Yeah, so it makes sense why you had to like step up in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that is very key with a lot of people. It's very important to learn how to be independent. And grow out of your parents. Like, stop relying on your parents with certain things, because it can make you or break you. Like having that close connection with your parents that's 10 minutes away gave you that like, I can just go home and cook. Like, I've been across the Atlantic Ocean since I was 15. You feel me? So that gave me a sense of trying to find ways to be independent in certain areas.
But to be fair, Peter, your independence journey took a while to hit. Like, it was junior year that this man, I was saying that Peter was like, okay, this man is actually quite independent now. Because even though you're across the Atlantic, you're not cooking, but your dad is still paying for your meal plan, fam.
I'm crying. I mean, to be fair, they pay for mine too.
I mean.
They're still paying for your meal
plan. But I think there's levels to it. You become independent in different aspects as you grow.
I'll just say
obviously this. I'm just teasing the man.
I'll just say this. When you're fortunate, you're fortunate. That's all I can say. When you're blessed, you're blessed.
I thought you were independent though. Like,
I'm independent, definitely, for sure. But I was just blessed.
Yeah.
Simple as short.
Man, chopped up your plan, man.
Privilege.
I partook in that thing.
Yeah. And I shared it all around. I mean, I basically fed Chiso. Chiso was my starving African child for that year.
Honestly, I'll try to argue, but it's fast. It's fast. I was hungry, man. Every time I was like, yo, Peter, let's go to the campus.
Chiso literally come to my dorm. Yo, Peter, can I have your card?
The funny thing is that when I'm asking for myself, I'm asking for Chiba too.
Yeah.
Because so like, I'm not just getting it for myself, I'm getting it for Chiba.
Yeah, man. But that's the way it is. I mean, that was not the only thing that, like, food was just an area that I had in abundance. Like, when I needed a safe space, I'll go to Chiso's place, because I always had roommates, and Chiso was living with his boys.
Yeah.
So it's just different things. I'm trying to find your way around life.
Yep. That's it.
Fact. I guess we can begin to wrap this up. I've enjoyed the conversation so far, but would you recommend marriage so far? Because now, like I said, we're in the hot summer generation. People are kind of pushing this off. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to get married. People are just trying to stay, do their own thing. Would you recommend marriage as a veteran? Police said the best. As a veteran that you are now, 6 whole months of marriage. Like, would you recommend it so far?
To me, like, because, like I say, I have a good one. It's easy when you have a good one, but if it's something that you're not ready for, don't rush it, don't push it. I tell my brother every time, like, take your time, study, because I'm a big watcher and I'm a big observer. And like, if I didn't take the time to observe and see what's around, like, I probably wouldn't have been married. If you ask her right now, it's like one of the things that I said to myself freshman, I'm like, I will not date any woman from WPI. I said that. In my first day, I said that. I was like, yo, this place, there's no one. But
there's no one here.
But you know,
your eye.
My eye started twitching.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Kofi, are you sure?
Yeah. So like I said that, and I was like, but when it happened, it happened. But it's not everyone's time. You know, when it's time, like I say, it's not our time. It's God's time. Give it to God. He'll get it for you. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way too. Like I said before, like I said I was never going to date anyone as long as I'm in college.
Yeah.
You know, I entered sophomore year, I was already cuffed. You know?
You're even better.
You guys
took time.
You guys can never stick to the plan. I was never cuffed, and I told myself I was never going to.
No, Peter, but you've explained your story. You know,
yeah, we all know your story.
But mine was.
It was locked.
It was not locked. I kept my promise. I kept my promise.
I was catching feelings, man. He was like, "Yo, man, baby."
We all caught feelings.
Let's be honest. The girl said no.
So why you fucking up my name right there? Why you fucking up? That's not true, fam. Okay,
you know, just
go check out previous episodes to find out the truth.
Go check out the truth.
Go check out the truth of previous episodes because she saw it's just copied right there. So let's move on.
All right, we'll move on, man. We'll move on. All right, cool. So, okay, actually, I'll ask you this question, right? This is more like inferring, right? But like, do you foresee any problems that might come up in your marriage?
Damn, that's a tough question.
That's a tough question. To me, like right now, well, at least how I always think. I think there'll always be problems.
Yeah.
That is like, if you're getting into a marriage, that's the mindset you should have.
Yeah.
Like you should just get into it. Be like, you know, there's never a marriage where you see someone not experience something.
Yeah.
If you're not like if you want in a marriage, take the mindset, I don't want peace, I want problems. Always take that mindset, and like, because it's not that like marriage is not peaceful, it's not fun.
Just deep what he just said.
Because like it's not that marriage is like isn't wrong with it, but even in a relationship, those of you who have been in relationships, how many days do you like go so beautiful, like 10 days, and then you like one day you fight and you be like,
mine is personal clarity, like, you know.
I thought you were a virgin, fam. What's happening?
Right.
No, I mean personal clarity has nothing to do with virginity.
Yeah,
I'm a virgin.
Okay.
I'm a virgin. True that you trying to catch out, fam.
Yeah. But thing is, you should always be ready. But like, the point of the commitment is that even through those problems, you will like rise above them and find a way to get to a solution together. And like when kids come involved, that's when it becomes even more important that you handle those problems in silence. I never saw my mom and dad fight in front of me. That's like something that I would see them bicker here and there, but I never saw them actually fight in front of me.
Same actually, same here as well.
So like that's one thing, is that you learn to take on those problems together as they arise. There'll always be problems, that's for sure. But you take on those problems as they arise. And as of now, hey, I foresee there'll always be something to talk about. But we'll handle it together.
Ooh, I love that.
I love that. Amen. It's the mentality for me, man.
No,
it's the
facts.
mentality
More
for
men
me,
need to be like this.
This is the winner's mentality.
But don't come out, man. Man, be wholesome.
Be more wholesome. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, now I'll come for everybody. Everybody needs to be more like this, because I think if we all approach with the mentality of who will actually overcome, because I think, I mean, people go in obviously with the love, the feelings, all that, right? And then they think the feelings is what's going to hold them, but then you already know that feelings cannot be trusted, man. Like one day you feel like this, the next day you feel like, God damn, why is this person next to me? Like, Jesus Christ, you know. So it's like, yo, but am I committed to this person? Am I willing to, like rise above? Then you make it work. Oh man, Kofi, thank you so much for this conversation, man. Like, I don't know, Bole, Peter, do you guys have any other questions or?
Nah, we good.
I don't have questions. I just I want to reiterate what you said that I think is like very key, like how you kept talking about taking your time. I feel like that's very, very crucial, not just for people. Not just for people in a marriage, but also people, in that dating stage, in that single stage, taking time to really figure out who you are. Because that's something I struggled with right after my breakup. Like, I didn't really know, like, where I was going. And I'm still single now, but like I can tell you the person I was at the end of that breakup and who I am today, like they're two different people because of the time I've taken to just like chill and learn.
We love Afro Journal Bole.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
I'll say this, but I thought that was not an ex though. Like, why is the breakup affecting you like that, fam?
It wasn't an ex.
It was not I thought it was not an ex though.
I digress.
I was going to say this. Definitely take your time, but understand that there's a time limit in certain things in life.
Yeah, especially for you, man.
This is statistically speaking, possibilities. You know what I mean?
I like all the,
you know, if you're 38, like some people who are 38 can give birth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But 38, I think it's like 35 is like when it's like risky for you to have kids as a woman.
Yeah.
Like the chance it's basically risky, Shad. I don't know how to explain. It's more risky. And it's just understanding that there are certain things, especially as a man, there are certain things in life that like you don't want to be hitting 50 and trying to date a 20-year-old. You feel me? Like you can do it though. Like honestly, you can do it and you can like, but social wise, you know, honestly, don't put limits on yourself. That's key because of no matter what I say, you can still do it and succeed. But statistically speaking,
just know the possibilities are a bit less on one side than the other side.
Exactly. Like being a broke nigga, like you have 0% chance of dating Bole, but you can be a broke nigga and shoot your shots. You feel me?
That's facts.
You'll miss.
That's all I'm basically trying to say. Like you can be an optimist, but you have to be a realistic.
Be realistic as well, you know. So take your time, but don't. It's almost like if I'm trying to have kids, obviously I'll have to take my time, figure out my career, figure out what I want to do, what I'm passionate about, all these things. But then at a certain point, it's kind of like, bro, you need to start actually bringing in money. You know, you can't be out here saying, oh, I'm still taking my time, I'm clocking 40, like, oh, I'm still trying to figure out my purpose in life and all that. Like, obviously I can still do it, but at the end of the day, I need to provide something though, right? If I have a certain goal that I'm trying to get to. So yeah, man. Honestly, I like that. Thank you for reiterating that, Bole. That was dope.
Of course.
That was dope. Kofi, is there any question that you wish we asked you?
Any question?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe it's like, when is baby coming? 2022.
Let's keep praying for that. Keep praying for that. I guess it's mainly like how a man. How does a man develop or change throughout a relationship? That's one thing I'm like. Like to me, one of the biggest things I always look at, and my friends can tell you, I used to hate dogs, and not hate them, but I was afraid of them.
Same.
I used to hate them, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
You guys are scared of dogs? That's crazy.
Man, when I was younger, man, that shit traumatized me.
I fell off my bike. I got jumped by a dog.
Oh, you got jumped by a dog? You guys are getting jumped. You guys don't know how to fight?
Fight a dog?
Box 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's how Peter was talking about fighting the chimpanzee.
Have you ever thought of like fighting like one of those monkeys? Like just go and fight.
And that's why you want to fight?
Yeah, I was just like energy.
Energy. Yeah, let us know how it goes, man.
I'm good.
Vlog
Honestly, I won't lie to you. I also have a story of me.
Are you good?
Of me fighting a dog. Sorry, I just went blank. Right there. But like, I also have a story of me fighting a dog.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't know what is. I just went blank.
That's still so off the switch.
Yes, I just went blank.
You have to put some music in that part.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what happened, but yeah, like. It was just like we went to the local market, and like this dog started chasing us like all the kids around. I ran away. I saw my younger sister just standing and crying. I ran back, carried her, I ran back home.
That's crazy.
Oh man, I can't save you.
Like to me, like I was saying, I used to, but now I look downstairs. There's a dog roaming around. I have a dog. I own a dog, and I'm like. There's certain things that you start to develop that you look at, you're like, wow. If you see Kofi 10 years ago, you're like, that would have been me owning a dog or something like that. But like that's even just a simple thing. But like personality wise and like how you talk, how you move, even me, I'm a more dynamic guy than I was maybe 10 years ago because I know how to talk, and I gain knowledge from her, and I always learn to not only knowledge from her, but knowledge from my peers more better, and having that person who you can bounce ideas off of is something crazy, because to me she always challenges me, and that's something that I learned to do too, because I was like, me at first I was like, I want to be this peaceful guy who I don't want to fight and stuff like that, but that's like something that I had to learn to do. I had to speak up and tell her, okay, hey, you're wrong, or she's comfortable to say, hey, in this point you're wrong too, and that's all part of the development of character that like you don't even get in like normal day-to-day relationships with friends or like parents and stuff like that. But that's real, man. Developing your character, especially as a man. Yeah, that's real, man. You know what she did there? She was like, low-key, she was like, yo, Kofi, I need you to be a I need she was like, I need you to be oh man, but that's dope, man. Like, cause even me, I see myself when people say, oh, you grew from a relationship, right? These are the things that you're talking about, right? Like, I mean, God forbid that you guys' relationship ended, right? Like, that would be something that you say that you took from the relationship. These are good things that you actually grew from. So, which is dope. But obviously, you guys are going to be together forever. So, man. But, but yeah, all right, let's get into our game. As Afro Journal, we always play games with people. And the game for today is pretty much a guessing game, right? So, we're going to ask a question, right? And then you're going to guess who amongst us is that way, right? And then we're going to ask you a question. We're going to ask a question as well, and then we're also going to guess who between you and your wife is that way. Okay. Does that make sense? Did I explain it well? Yeah. Did I explain it well? Yeah. Cool. All right. You guys can see the list, Nabi. Bole and Peter. All right. So, Bole, you want to ask the first question? Okay. Yeah. So, the first question is, who spends the most money? Oh, amongst you three? Amongst us three, yeah. Bole, I can assure you that. That is the most obvious question. Oh, I don't think it's obvious. I think it's the most obvious question. Just check Bole's Instagram stories. Stop. Even Snapchat. I don't have Instagram, but Snapchat, I was like, yo, let's go be traveling. She's living good. I like that. I'm living my life, living my best single life. Yeah, catching flights and feelings, and still feelings. So, if I have to guess between you and Carol, who spends the most money? Just because of Carol's shoe collections. That's what because Carol's her shoe game is nice. I can't. Her shoe game is nice. Because of her shoe collection, I'm going to guess Carol spends. I would also guess Carol. Peter, what about you? Yeah, Carol as well. I don't think Kofi is an African boy now. We don't spend that much money. The only thing you spend big money at once. Yeah. Like when we want to buy a car, we buy like a Mercedes Benz. If you be class S, that's the typical African car, right? Yeah. African boy car. So we don't spend that much money. When we spend big. All right. So if I'm all honest, it's probably me. I spend more money. Really? Me, I'm like, cause just cause I'm like. Me, I always like the new technology, all this stuff, and the new tech. Keeping like tune with stuff like that, but it used to be a balance, but now she's become more. She's spending less, and you're spending more. Yeah, but I think that's just the nature of the beginning of a relationship. Soon, I'm sure we'll level out. Yeah. But now it's just different responsibilities, because now there's groceries and house and all this stuff. It's so not how we just take different responsibilities, and then dog veterinary too. You gotta take care of the dog. All right. So the next question is, who is most likely to be arrested among all of us? If we would base it off of what I've seen, to be honest, the way Peter talks sometimes is dangerous.
just because of the way I talk, that doesn't mean I will get arrested.
Nah, bro. Sometimes we talking mad.
It's freedom of speech.
That's the thing is that
freedom of speech.
Someone would like let's say you say something reckless. Someone might you might get into a fight faster than Chisom would or Bole would. And that way, you two defend yourself for sure. You slap them.
I low-key think it's Bole. I don't
appreciate this.
To fight, man.
Why would it be me?
I'm not imagining Bole swinging.
Did you just hear that voice? Why would it be me? Why would it be her?
Oh my god!
You know, me, I think it's Peter for sure, man. Like,
I also think it's Peter.
I think it's Peter. Peter is the guy that it's not like Peter is a troublesome guy, but he likes a bit of trouble here and there. You know, he'll look at you and be like, "You want to fight?
I'll fight.
You want to fight? Let's go.
To be honest, if it was like freshman year, Peter, I saw him. I was like, everyone has repeated the same story, but like Peter, this guy, I thought he was for the other people. He doesn't.
Oh my god!
Thank you. Thank you. So that's just like I'm capping when we're talking here. You know?
No, like to be honest, like
really,
I when Peter started doing like BSU and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, okay. And I heard him talk, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's a Nigerian man.
Yeah.
At first, the way I would always see him hanging out with different people, and I'm like,
yeah,
this guy, he's not for us.
He's not serious.
All right. I can ask the next question. So wait, actually, we didn't get. So Kofi and Caro, who's more likely to get arrested? I personally think that Caro is more likely to get arrested.
Yeah, I think Caro too. Caro definitely does the punching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Kofi is too chill, man. Kofi is quite chill, man. Like for even the policeman arrested Kofi would be like, "Damn, like what?
I'll let you go."
Oh man, Kofi, what do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree?
I think that it would probably be me, but
you think
probably me, because
this man is protecting his wife.
Oh no, her she's selective. Like if she knows you really well, that's the thing. She's
actually
like,
that's true.
She's not like that with everyone. The people she like who get the opportunity that she's like that with, then they don't report her. But she's more like me. I'm just even I'll talk to anyone, but it's like. I'll probably be more likely, and then sometimes speeding small and all that stuff.
Speeding small,
just small,
just small. Just small. Very, very little. Who has the greenest flag qualities?
Oh,
who has the most green flags in this group?
It's very controversial.
Very controversial. I like the controversy.
No one get hurt.
To be honest, let's see. Yo. I feel like, to be honest, I think Peter. If I'm thinking about it, I'll say Peter, and because Peter, the way he is,
what
he says, his yes is yes and his no is his no.
Yeah,
like he doesn't play around with anything like that.
Yeah,
like the thing is, I always tell me and my friends like. Like when we're always joking about who's the biggest hoe and stuff like that. None of us are hoes, because if you look at us in comparison to other people, to the world, we're men of the Lord. But if you look at like all three of you and stuff like that, the way Peter talks and stuff like that, and I'm telling you, he's very like yes is yes, his no is no. That's it.
Fair enough.
That's how I think. But
so you value I guess backing up your belief.
So don't try to sway him in any way. He said his answer.
No, I'm just trying to make a case for myself. Because I want the world to know that I have way more green flags than that fucking Peter nigga on the other side of me.
So stop hating.
Okay, who has the second most green flag?
The second most. I think both of you, they're equal.
God damn, Kofi had to be politically correct.
PC.
PC. I like that. I mean, obviously, you and Caro, both of you have the equal green flags.
Yeah,
you guys already won. You're married. You're one. That's the end of the matter.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
She just brought him.
We love to see it.
Ooh, I don't know if you guys peeped that. His wife, he just brought him.
We'll do a rewind.
Rangoons, rewind at this point.
Oh my god.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
She just brought him.
We love to see it.
Ooh. None of you guys peep that. His wife, he just brought him. Wow.
Are those macarons?
Yeah, you know,
that's
we love that. We love that.
Wow, Kara. Wow. You know, honestly, I'm ready for marriage.
I mean, you know how Kofi, you know how me and you didn't react? Because you understand what marriage means. We don't react like that. Two of them, they don't understand.
They don't understand. Me, I'm just here chilling, you know. I'm looking for someone that will bring me orange juice. I haven't had that yet, you know. Like, that's why I'm reacting like this. I'm looking for someone that will bring me maybe small jollof rice. You know, I'm shooting an episode and they are rubbing my back. You know, that'd be nice. But it is what it is.
Okay, next question. Who is the biggest hothead?
Hothead. Oh man. You see, that's the thing. You see, I feel like I'm just harassing Peter.
It's okay. We were all gonna say Peter.
yeah, but you know this one. But that comes with the personality. You know, the conviction. It's you know, but you also a hothead sometimes. It's okay. It's life.
It's life. It is what it is. You know.
I don't know. It's just the hot-headedness. I don't know where I got it from. It's just me. It's just me. I don't know. Saying no. I never. It's not as if I never like backing down, but it's just that kind of feeling of like, so I believe in myself so much that I just have to stand up for myself, if that makes sense.
So you don't want to back up.
You know what I mean? Well, growing up in boarding school was not easy. Growing up in Nigeria was not easy. Growing up in a home that's very restrictive is not easy. For you to change, you have to have a strong self-belief. If you're weak-minded, you will crumble. You understand what I'm trying to say? You need to have some sort of strength in you for you to be. Honestly, the truth is that, like I told you guys know my story already. If you've watched the previous episodes, I wasn't good in school. You know, I struggled with self-confidence multitude of times. Sometimes you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "You're the shit," and fight for that. Don't let anyone test that ability of yours.
Yeah, you know what? Peter is a politician. We call this the guy hothead. This guy has gone through his life story. You have to go and come back with. You have to be confident. You know, I believe in you. We're united. We can make it. Peter is a fucking politician. Yeah, a hothead. Oh my god! But that was dope. I liked it. All right, Peter. That's good.
Who is the biggest flirt? This is very important too. Remember, you have Chisom in the chat.
Why you messing with my name here?
You also have Bole as well.
You see, that's the
I'm
thing
not in the chat.
If I look at my relationships with like each of you, you know, like I didn't like Bole. I knew her in a relationship, so like in that sense, when I first married, she was in a relationship, and then Peter, I didn't see, you know, like I said.
The other side.
And you know, I was actually looking at something that I always have pictures on my phone. I remember I used to always take pictures of Chiso with a different girl all the time, walking a different girl here and there. So this guy, your track record, like literally, if I could pull one up right now, but by to scroll, Jesus.
What? Exposed.
He knows me, so I'll come and be like, yo, Chisom, who is that? And he'd be like, oh, it's just a friend.
Facts, though. That's facts. No, but Kofi, the thing is that you know I'm a nice guy. You know, like.
But that's what they take for flirting.
The same way you're like, oh, it's just a friend. It's just a friend, man. You know?
That's what I used to say to my friends too. Yeah. But till this day, they'll still fry me. They'll be like, bro, there's no way.
Kofi, I give you an A star on that answer.
Wow. Wow, you know what?
I give you an A star on that answer.
I give you a D minus. But you make a fair point. I can't argue with the logic.
Chisom is definitely the biggest flirt. Chisom will say new girl.
Bole, Peter, and Chisom. Wait, Peter, you think I'm the biggest flirt here?
Yes.
But then what do you think?
I agree.
Wait, hold on. You guys agree? I'm actually dead. Who do I think is the biggest flirt in this group? I mean, just because Bole is a woman, I think is different, right? But if she was a guy, she would definitely be the biggest flirt in the group.
Oh, 100%.
But that's what I'm saying. But like the woman dynamic makes it a bit more difficult, right? But the thing is, if a guy approaches her that she fancies, she will flirt back.
That's different than being the biggest flirt, fam. Chisom, you initiate it.
No, but what I'm saying is that as a man,
stop being political.
No, what I'm saying is you can't measure it. You can't measure it based on initiation because I'm a man and she's a woman. So we're going to compare each other. You know, like women are less likely to initiate interactions with men. Men are more likely to initiate interactions with women.
Is that her fault?
So that's her fault. No, but what I'm saying is,
but objectively,
that cannot be the yardstick. That cannot be the yardstick of measurements just because of the sex difference.
I beg, Chisom, you lost. Chisom, you lost.
Yeah, I said I lost.
You lost. You are the biggest flirt. Take your L.
You know, it's fine.
Yeah, shout out to Kamala Harris.
I completely disagree, but it's alright.
If you know, you know.
Bro, it's life. It's life.
Peter is the same guy that called himself a sniper. You know, a few minutes ago,
I take very few shots.
He takes precise.
Yeah, that's
why I completely disagree. Peter is like, he takes few shots and I take Peter, you take way more shots. Like your shots are exponentially more. That's completely cap.
Oh my
and if
God.
you go back to episode 1450 where we talked about like rejections and like our interactions with women, you will see that Peter is a shooter. He shoot. I
don't know. that is falsified information. Fake AK-47.
You know me, I'm a calm guy. I'm a shotgun.
You see how it's called? I'm a calm guy.
I'm a shotgun. Every once in a while.
The guy says it's a shotgun.
You have to recharge. You don't take your time.
So basically, what basically Chisom is saying is that he flirts with multiple girls at once, because that's what shotgun identifies. Because you can kill multiple people with a shotgun. You know what I mean?
No,
you understand what I'm trying to say?
Because your one shot is powerful and direct.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
AK-47 that will be spraying the whole room.
Yeah. You shoot them all at once.
You know,
one bullet.
Let's move on from this.
6 girls finishes it. 6 girls shoots the shot all at once.
Let's move on from all these analogies and. Are we allowed to ask Kofi who's the biggest flirt between you and Carol? Who likes to get active more?
To me, I think it will be like I said. For
actually,
her,
wait. Let me guess.
I say Carol.
I'll say Kofi.
Yeah, I think for me, it's since like as you know, I'm the lover boy, so like the way
certified that that's
like the way I talk. I'm just too kind in that sense. So it can be misconstrued.
Yeah. Definitely. It is that Kofi relates to me. Like you understand our situation. We're nice guys. Yeah. So I don't know why you now pick me as the biggest, but it's alright.
But being a nice guy, I can understand where it come from. You know what I mean? It might not be intentional, but you know that's how people perceive it.
It is what it is. Alright, I guess I can ask the last one. Alright, who is more likely to apologize first?
Oh, amongst you three?
Amongst us three.
Hey. All three of you are kind of stubborn. I can see.
Who's more likely to apologize first?
This is a hard one. I feel like... Okay, I have to say Bole. I feel like she's
really?
Or Cap.
Why? What's the reason behind it?
No, but you know, amongst, I feel like she has like a little bit calmer vibe. You know.
Now I do.
Maybe now, but like if I were to say now, Peter definitely not. That one is like I don't know if you apologize.
And that's the guy you gave your green flag to.
I mean, no, but you find out the answers among us. So
okay,
let's just be more wholesome and.
So you think it's who?
I think it's Bole. I think, but me, it'll be second Chisom and then third Peter. That's what I think.
Oh, Bole, what do you think?
I feel like y'all are on the same
level. Yeah.
Because I feel like if you'll fight your case, but if it doesn't make sense and you know like what you're saying is total shit, then you'll just come out and say, "Oh yeah, you're good." Like what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I see why you say that. So are we above you or below you?
Above me?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are above me. I still tie my mouth as long as I can. But I'm learning. Growth. You see the growth.
Growth. It's a growth mindset, you know. For me personally, I kind of agree with Bole. Honestly, I'll put Peter above me a little bit, so.
Yeah, I like that's the same day of like if I have like an argument with someone, I'll just immediately apologize, even though I don't mean it. You know, just knows the story. I will talk shit. But I know I'm wrong. I will talk the bullshit, just get that anger out. Then I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. Because for me, like, I mean, I think it's not hard for me to apologize, but also in my head, I'm really wrong. So for me to not accept that I'm actually wrong is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But to me, is okay. To me, is this right? Like, if you show me a logical fallacy, like, or like, let's just say my argument, yeah, just show me how it doesn't match up, I would agree. I'll be like, yeah, I'm talking rubbish right now, you know. But if you're trying to pull up my heartstrings, you know, emotional, like, oh, you shouldn't say that. I'm like, why? You can't explain why. I'm like, what do you want me to do, fam? You know, like, oh man, but that's the way I see it. But I'll put Peter slightly above me when it comes to like apologizing. Even though I'm also, like, when I apologize, I mean it. On like Peter, I'll be giving fake apologies.
I'm just looking at all this, you know, criteria right now.
Yeah,
and it just looks as if I'm the most wholesome right now. So Kofi, you're right. I have the greenest flag. You're definitely right, man. I have the greenest flag.
Oh man.
Actually, you know, let's end this with a quick note because of Chisholm. Let's just end it with this question. Who do you think is going to get married first?
Oh, that's a good
last one.
Yeah.
You see,
from what
I've heard, you know, and what I've seen and following this podcast, I think that you two guys, you're not focused. You're too like, you're just sitting at home. I think Bole will get married first because she has it. Peter, a lot of what was it that he said? You're just sitting at home chilling, like the pre-episode we were talking. Yeah. He said he hasn't left the house.
He hasn't left the house.
You won't find anyone just sitting at home.
Yeah.
Bole, she gets out there. She'll find someone first because just if you think just about it,
statistics.
But between you two men, I think Peter will settle down first.
No, I think it's Chisholm. I think it's Chisholm. I think it's Chisholm. I think I'm way more selfish with my. I'm just way more selfish with myself, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like Chisholm will be willing to, search, put himself in the right places and area. Yeah. While me, I'm just like, oh, I have an opportunity to go to so and so place. Let me go. I'm like, last thing on my head is like, obviously I want to find a girl and stuff like that, but I would never prioritize women. You understand what I'm trying to say? Or put myself in an area where I've like, oh, let me start concentrating on women. Like, I just want it to fall on my lap, not like staying like that. I like a love story, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And Chisholm puts himself in areas where strategically he can meet the girl he wants to settle down with. Me, I'll wait. You feel me? Obviously, I think that's the wrong idea, but just me more likely to be more selfish in that kind of way makes Chisholm more likely to get married first.
Yeah,
so that's just definitely true. Yeah. Chisholm, that's the thing. Chisholm, I know when he's committed. If not, Chima will come and give him some stuff.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I think we get married first amongst the three of us. I mean, I think I'll get married before Peter. That's what I think. Yeah. Even though I think it's slight. I don't think the difference is actually that much, to be honest. Because Peter talking about like he's selfish with himself. I'm selfish, but I'm also not at the same time. So like I can kind of see why I'll probably get married. And plus, I've always wanted to get married young, but it's just the older I get, the more I push it back. Just because I feel like I want to do certain things first. You know, and that's really the thing that's holding me back. You know, it's kind of like, okay, like I want to do these things first before I actually get married. So yeah.
But does that mean you have potential somewhere? You have some candidates?
Not right now. At this moment that we're talking,
stop
at this moment that we're talking, not right now. You know, I mean, because for me, I'm just like, man, I just want to chill first, man. You know, like by chill, I mean, I just want to work on my shit. You know, I don't want to have to be obligated to text someone or call someone. Now, obviously, I'm describing it as work. Obviously, if I'm in a relationship, it won't feel like work, right? I would actually want to do all these things, but I don't want to spend that much time right now in developing that. That's why I feel like like if it worked for me in school, that would have been the ideal way, you know, because like in school you're doing your thing, almost kind of like the way you did it, you know. It's kind of like you did your thing. Outside of school, you actually have to commit a lot of time that cannot really be merged together, you know. Like in school, you're studying for classes together, that's a date almost, you know. You're going to the library chilling, that's almost a date, you know. You're eating dinner in the campus center, that's almost a date. But now it's like, bro, like I should not go to Cobo Van, like watch me edit an episode. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit different now, you know. So now I'm like, I just push it back a bit more. Pushing it back. And also being mentally ready as well. I think that's an important part. When I do it, I want to do it well, and then I want to do it once. So,
for sure.
Facts.
Because it's a lot of money.
Oh, well, facts.
So congratulations, Bola. You're going to get married first. We're waiting for the Afro Journal special.
By the grace of God.
We're waiting for the Afro Journal.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, man. Well, should I say, a lot of that, we'll post some pictures and videos of Kofi's wedding. You know that? So my favorite clip from Kofi's wedding was when he ran out. When him and Carol were about to walk in, and my guy bolted out. He was like, "Yo, I'm ready, man. I'm a whole husband now." You don't know what she meant to me. But yo, Kofi, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. Honestly, I gained so much from it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. You know, this was definitely dope. You know, and I know you're going for your honeymoon very soon. At this point, you'd have probably gone for your honeymoon already by the time we release it. But I know you're going, Sha. At the point we're recording, you're about to go for your honeymoon.
Oh yeah.
But make sure you get active, man. Enjoy yourself. You know, if you want to make some kids, I won't complain. But have a good time, man. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time, man.
For sure. I appreciate you all. I love what y'all doing. You know, keep doing it. And you know, it's not easy for sure to get up every week, edit podcasts and all that. It's hard work. Yeah. But like, you know, with everything starts with small beginnings. And, you know, every big thing starts with small beginnings. So one day I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, wow, I was on that podcast. When you're like, I'll be there with that.
Amen.
Mr. Beast and Pootie Pie.
Amen. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, for real. Say hi to Carol for sure. Alright guys, you guys already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. You gain so much from the conversation. The least you can do, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You know, share the video on social media. Let other people get these gems. You know, Kofi just brought the word. You know, like, you need to let the world learn and benefit so that they can at least create a life that is somewhat happy for themselves. You know?
Sure.
Man. Alright, before we go, Kofi is going to leave us with a proverb. So Kofi, take it away, man.
Yep, so my proverb is a Ghanaian one, you know, and speaking of like traveling and interracialness, it says, it is a child who has never traveled who says that only his mother prepares tasty meals.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
That's fire.
Wow, that's nice. Come through next week for the interpretation. You know, it's your sugar, your spice, your everything nice, your green flag. Why are you stealing my AJ? Why are you stealing my outro? Chisom, AJ, Kevin, Jeremiah, Okafo.
It is your greenest extra luggage.
Okay.
Yo, boy, I feel like a chicken chips are legal.
And
I love the way this guy says his name. For real, like, wow.
And it's your greener-est flag, because we know your girl's gonna get married first. Your glazed donut, Bolea Kume.
Love it.
Y'all heard it here, you know. Start thinking about getting married, and you know, take your time in your search, but definitely follow, subscribe, share, tell your uncle, whatever. Yeah. Your uncle's mother, and all of that.
He does.
Yeah, you know, to tell her friend, to tell her boyfriend, to tell the side chick.
There we go.
That. Follow, like, share, subscribe. Afro Journal Podcast. Check them out. They're doing wonderful things, you know. And I'm sure in the future they'll have more things. So keep it going, keep it moving, and I hope everyone has a beautiful life. And just enjoy life. Take a smile.
Take a smile. Thank you so much, man.
I love that.
All right, guys. We out. Peace.